Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. It is January 16th, 2023. I had thought about doing a live event tonight, but to be honest with you, I'm getting a little bit sleepy right now, so by the time I did one at 9, I'd be really kind of worn out. So I thought I'd just do a quick, a video. I have no idea how long it'll take. Did my first episode yesterday of, let's get Eve up in here and running. I'm not even running that yet. Um, of doing I did the prologue for my new idea where I'm going to start going through the Eve lore and doing verbal um, readings, and then on top of that, delving deeper into it, and then chronologically putting them into um, a playlist, a YouTube playlist, so that they go chronologically as I research things. So that was kind of neat, and I'll keep delving into that. The nice part is it's something on the side, so I can work on it anytime I want to. I can read lore when I'm not on Eve, when I'm at work, at lunch, or something along those lines, um, or all sorts of stuff. So, and then if I don't have anything for my regular characters that are going on, I can jump into that, or I can just do it because I want to, and I'm kind of jazzed about it. But latest updates. So that just to give you a heads up, if you've watched some of my previous episodes of the last 2 weeks, I was doing a little challenge with Nakuni Beta here, seeing how far I could go in the Sisters of Eve um, uh, Bloodstained Stars without um, doing upgraded ships or buying any equipment. And I ran into a little bit of a patch. I got about through 20 or so of the missions. Then I ran into one that I couldn't do. There were just too many things to kill me. It would have taken, I might have possibly been able to do it, but it would have taken me hours to just systematically go through parts of it. So I have reset a little bit, and he is, if you notice, he's in his capsule right now. I've actually parked him in Uitra so he can do some enforcer missions and maybe get an upgraded ship so he's flying something better than uh, the whatchamacallit, the rookie ship that you get at the beginning. So I'm gonna probably do the enforcer missions there, and maybe get a good frigate, and maybe do a little bit of upgrading there. William Pilgrim is hanging out in High Sec right now, just waiting on some blueprints to get done. Then he'll head back out to Null Sec. And then I also, and this is actually where I've been a little bit more active. Hold on one second, because I need some coffee to wake me up. Um, and this is who I'm going to boot up with today. I have Amanda Rose Pilgrim. I tried out a coercer with her out in Curse, and while I could have kept working on it, I figured out she is currently skilling up in Amar Destroyer, and the rats, the NPC characters that are out um, in Curse are not, they're they're not conducive toward coercer damage bonuses. Maybe that's a, I'm getting, basically the coercer doesn't work well in my mind at the basic levels against those rats. A thrasher is a lot better because it does explosive and thermal damage. I'm sorry, explosive and kinetic damage or things like that. Whereas the lasers from a coercer, where it gets its bonuses, it um, gets you only gives you the EM and the thermal damage. It will not do, lasers do not do explosive and kinetic. Then it got me thinking, I might have brought this up in an episode or two back. I could go with a missile ship or a drone ship, because missiles, you can pick any one of the four major damages, and the same thing with drones. The only thing is, she wasn't very skilled up in any missiles. Actually, I haven't skilled up any of my characters in missiles. I'm kind of saving that on the back burner for whenever I want to get into it. Um, but she was skilled in drones. So the one ship that is really good for if you're not Galente, um, for the Amar, if you want to try drones, is the Dragoon. Now, to be honest, I find it looks wise to be one of the most boring ships that is out there. It just looks like just if you picked up a B movie spaceship, um, this would from the 1970s or 80s. This is what I think that the Dragoon kind of looks like. I think they need to maybe look at maybe doing an upgrade to that. I think they just did one for the Thrasher, which I really like the new look of it, the Thrasher and the Wolf. But I'd love to see them do something with the Dragoon. It's just a little bit of an ugly ship, but it is very interesting. Now I'm about to boot in. The only reason why I'm kind of hanging out here before booting in was I logged off in space. So what I thought I would do is just give a little bit of an introduction there, then we'll just go ahead and log in. We'll see where I'm at. I'll take a look at the very, very, very basic fit that I have for the Dragoon. And I'll show you one little tweak that you can do maybe to help you that I just learned maybe 6 months ago with certain types of fits. So we'll jump into that here. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, again, I am nowhere near an expert at this, but if you follow along with me, maybe I'll learn something from you. Maybe you'll learn something from me. Maybe we'll both learn something together. Come on, baby. Let's boot her up. Ooh, we get some skills. Now, one other... Oh, I thought I was in space. I guess I'm not. Okay, that's all good. I thought I had logged off in space. Not a big deal. There's actually a lot of guys in the system. There haven't been up until today, so that's kind of interesting. I'm also hanging out in Curse, not... and this is what I do like to do gameplay-wise. I like to go out with low-level ships and mess around for a while to see who lives there, see what's going on, who's in and out, if there's any wars going on, any problems, and if anybody strikes up a conversation with me, I can do that. I do want to say I'm actually kind of surprised. The Five Bones channel, more and more, there's for months I was sitting there by myself or one or two other guys. I know Bit from Behind has always been hanging out with me. But there's been a lot more people recently in and out. So if you guys want to join in, please feel free. It is the Corp channel, but it is not a Corp recruiting channel. I always bring this up. You can also join the Discord that's in the description. That is open to anybody. Just be respectful. It's a pretty quiet channel. I always say hi, blah, blah, blah. Every once in a while I get into a conversation with people. But I'm so in and out all the time, and I talk to myself that I keep myself entertained. But, so, hold on one second. So you gotta have your coffee. So the one thing that I noticed was that Amanda Rose, when I moved her out to Stain, I had completely focused on guns and Amar ships, and then I made the conscious choice to go armor tank, because I think a lot of the time armor tank works really well for Amar ships. Well, in this setup, and then as I did that, I actually upgraded slowly. I kind of skipped over Dragoon. I used the Coercer, but I got into the Mauler and into a couple other cruisers. And that's when I skilled up my drones. But I never skilled up my shields. And I realized I was very, very low in shields. If you notice here, today I just dropped a few in. And a lot of you will be aghast at this. I only had level 1 of shield operation. And shield management was very low. And shield compensation was very low. And a lot of my shield skills were low. So I dropped a lot of those in to get those up and running. So this is the Dragoon, if you've never seen one. I do not have a skin for it. I will get a skin sooner or later, because I have a feeling I'll fly this ship a decent amount. But the couple things that I kind of like about it. Now, like I said, it looks like either this is going to sound very strange, either a ship from the 1970s or 80s B movies, or a realistic ship from maybe The Expanse, which is my favorite, one of my top three favorite shows of all time. Which is also the show that got me back into playing Eve again. I have to throw a shout out there. I really, looking back on it a year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever I got back into playing Eve, I think it was me watching The Expanse got me wanting to blow things up and fly spaceships again. And so I have to give them credit for that. But this looks like a ship that could possibly be in that. It's kind of ugly, but who cares? The thing I like to do is kind of look over a ship and see what it's got. Now, this is basically the drone boat of destroyers for the Amar. The Coercer is your gunship, where this flies a lot of drones. So let's go ahead and take a look here real quick. Show the info. And we'll just hit it real quick. It's a very weird little ship. It's also got, for every level of Amar destroyer you have, your drone hit points and damage go up, which is pretty cool. You also get a speed bonus just right off the bat of 25% max velocity, which I never thought about until literally yesterday when I was re-looking this over, because I remember when I used to play, I did a lot of NPC routing with Galente ships, and I flew a lot of heavy drones, medium drones. Didn't really fly a lot of light drones later on whenever I started doing the ratting in the sites. And the worst part was when you're out in nullsec and you're just doing some ratting, then somebody comes in system and you've got some high-priced drones that might be out there, and you got to call them in, and you're sitting there and you're aligning, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go, and you're watching your D-scan, and these drones are like 25 kilometers away, and especially the heavy drones fly slower, and you're like, dude, get in, and then you start seeing your D-scan, whoever's probably a pirate or something like that is now on your D-scan, and are they going to show up? And I had so many times where either A, I had to leave the drones behind, or B, I got them in and took off, where having a 25% bonus for drone max velocity does two things. Number one, it allows them to get back to you faster. But number two, it actually helps with their transversal and trying not to get hit as much. So if you're using more expensive ships or more expensive drones, it would be harder for other ships to actually hit them because they've got the same physics around it. So I never really thought about that until this. And then they've also got more hit points per level, and more damage that they're going to do. So pretty cool. The other kind of weird one is this Energy Nosferatu Energy Neutralizer Optimal Range and Fall Off. Never thought about that a whole lot. But that is something where this could be a neat little PvP ship. If you really wanted to do it, you'd have to really know what you're doing. I want to say Saber SG, if you've ever looked at any PvP, it's one of my favorite channels. I haven't brought him up in a while. I try to bring him up like once a month. I love watching his videos, but I think he did a Dragoon video of that if you want to get into some PvP. This is not a beefy ship. You have to really know what you're doing with it if you're doing PvP, I think. Let's take a look here real quick. I'm just going to check YouTube out. See if I can do a quick search. I'm going to say Saber SG Dragoon. I always like to point out if there's another video that you guys can watch. Saber SG, and then Dragoon. See if it pops up here. I swear he did one. Yeah, it's not helping. Maybe it's Saver 5G. Maybe, or maybe no space. There it is. Okay. So, if you want to check it out, it was the 18th episode that he did. He's also got one here for the Coercer that I was talking about earlier. But if you notice, I watched it a bit back, but really good episode. He did a kitey solo PvP Dragoon. So if you want to check that out, please feel free. Saber Space SG Space Dragoon. Great videos, some of the best video making, I think. Guy's got a great voice, great information, does some great video work. You can obviously tell it's a thing he does with love. So cool. So those are the things that I noticed with just the special abilities of the Dragoon. Um, the second part here has got a description. Now this actually, I will actually start. I'm not going to do it today, but when I'm talking about the videos that I made the other day, or that I want to start making with the lore, um, everything in Eve has some form of description or information, and that's kind of the building blocks that I want to go to. So whenever I pull up a ship or site or place, now that I'm doing the lore videos, that'll slowly grow, and I'll be able to give more and more information about things, and maybe get myself a little bit more into different things. Now, right now, I'm not good yet, so we'll do that. But fitting wise, always good to go to fitting, because it's not affected by my skills at all. But big thing with the Dragoon is you get 5 high slots. 3 of them can be guns, or 3 of them can be launcher hardpoints. So you can go either way you want to. You're not getting any bonuses for those, and you can go up to, like, you go with 3 guns and 2 missiles, or 3 missiles and 2 guns, or like I have on my ship right now, 3 guns and 2 Nosferatu on there. I don't know if I'm going to keep them. I just had brought them with me, so I started using them. But that's what I've got there. And for the guns, since I don't get a bonus for using them, I decided this is a better ship to use than the Coercer, because I can put some projectile guns on here and use those with fusion ammo to do damage that is better against the NPCs in the area. Middle area, you get 3 slots. Low area, you get 4 slots. This is where I'm going to be messing around a lot, because I got to figure out, do I want to go shield tank, armor tank? You hear me all the time trying to figure out how to do that. Right now, I'm kind of shield tank. It was just what I had on around me. And then down below, just because I had the stuff, I threw in a gyro stabilizer to help with the gun damage, and then 2 drone damage amplifiers to upgrade the damage, the drone damage. So, and then I had an extra damage control that was better than the regular damage control, so I was able to throw that in there. So, but this is where you can mess around with a lot. And I do not have any rigs yet. The question is, do I want to armor them up a little bit more, or do I want to throw something in there that, in my mind, probably to help either missile or projectile damage, to try to get me up to a point where I can take out the best battleships that are out here. Those, because there's a couple out here that you can take out that are worth 1.5 million ISK, which I can't take out just yet. My skills aren't good enough, my guns aren't good enough, and I haven't upgraded all my stuff yet. But I'm close. I'm super close. So the question is, how do I mess around with all these? But those are your bonuses there. Not going to go into a whole lot of the attributes. Basically, the one major one that is big, I think, is well, it's twofold. The first is your drone bandwidth is only 25 megabits per second. So in other words, the ship will basically fly 5 light drones. Yeah, you could do 2 mediums and a light if you really wanted to, but in reality, I think 5 light drones is the best way you want to go with that, or 1 heavy one. But the other real bonus here, right here, is your drone bay. This is something that I find really cool because it's up to 75 meters cubed. So in other words, I can fly 3 flights of 5 drones, or hold them all in my base. So what I could do, just as an example, is have 10 um, 10 of the, shoot, I forgot the name of them. I have them on the ship, so I look it up. 10 warriors, which do explosive damage, and then 5 salvage drones if I want to. So I don't have to put a salvager into the one of my slots. So that's a nice little bonus. Or I could flip in and out. If this was a PvP ship, I could go light drone, 3 different types of light drones. The other thing that I could do is load it up with some basic drones, some upgraded drones. So let's say I wanted to go with some Tech 1 warriors, and then some Tech 2 warriors, and then some salvage drones. So a lot of options. That way, if I'm fighting things that I know like to shoot at drones, I can use the Tech 1s. If I know that they won't shoot at drones, I can put in the Tech 2s, that sort of thing. So a lot of options there. The one negative that it does, and I really, really like this about Eve, because it makes me think that they put a lot of thought into something. And if you look at most destroyers that are out there, they almost all have, if I'm not mistaken, a cargo capacity of about 400 meters cubed. If you notice here, the Dragoon only has 300 meters cubed. That is actually, when really, really intelligent in my mind, if they meant to do it this way, because what that says is they said, hey, we're going to take away space from your cargo capacity and put it into your drone bay. So they didn't just throw a number in there. They thought, well, where would this space come from? And so I'm really hoping, I think they did that on purpose. But I really like that they did that. So, long story short, this is the ship. I'll take it out for a little bit of a run. We're going to try to be a little bit careful here. There are a bunch of people in system. So, let's take a look around. I want to see if anybody has died recently here. So, this is ships destroyed in the last hour. None there. I think I'll probably fly up to KLMT, and then up to UT. UT is up to the Great Wildlands right there. So it's a nice, I'm just right on the edge here. So I'm definitely not going to try to kill any rats here, but I'm not seeing any deaths in this area recently. So that's cool, even though there are a lot of people. So hopefully there's nobody sitting right off the undock here waiting to shoot me. I'm going to take her out for a run. I'll just do one little, if I can find a little group of NPCs. It's been a while. I fought with it a little bit earlier today. Everything's up and running here. Okay, got a little bit of damage on my armor. I do not have an undock. I need to create an undock for this puppy. I'm going to go ahead and warp to that. That is a mistake. You need, if you are going to be living in a specific station, you really, 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 really want to make an undock. I used to poo-poo them. I was like, I don't need them, blah, 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 blah. And then I lost a ship. And especially if somebody is out there trying to come at you. Ooh, I left some guns, some stuff here. Yeah, You definitely want to do an undock, which I don't have. Okay, so I'm de-scanning out, and we're going to check. I don't see any probes or anything like that. So I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go ahead and jump over to KLMT. Hopefully nobody's there. Just take her for a quick drive. Over here, I have not used drones hardly at all in the channel. So this will be, like I said, I've tried to stay away from them, but this is just a better setup, I think, for a ship. Okay, cool. We got nobody in system. We'll just go see if anything is at the desolate asteroid area here. Definitely some things that I can work on with my fit here. I was really just trying to get out there and start moving and doing some stuff. This is a shield tank. With a little bit of speed. It's got the afterburner on it, but the Dragoon's a pretty slow little ship, if I remember correctly. I don't have the exact numbers for it, but okay, we got a battleship with some defense. Let's go ahead and get our drones out. Launch the drones. Now we want to take these guys out as quickly as possible. This battleship is probably not going to be able to hit us. Oop, we need to get our afterburner going. Okay, got 2 of them down. Now notice how the warriors went after the battleship. I want them to go after the destroyer, because the destroyer is the one that's actually hitting me. It's the right size to go after me. I'm going to be using the transversal on the throne ship. We're going to take a quick look at it once we get this guy killed off. Okay, I feel a little bit safer now. Even though I did get a little bit into my armor there, I'm happy with that. Now the drones are going to go after the battleship. Now I don't think I do enough damage yet to be able to kill this battleship. This is one of your higher level angels. It's an angel throne. It's worth 1.55, basically 1.5 million ISK. Notice here it's got shield defenses for its low area is your explosive, which is what the warriors do. So I'm doing that, and then my guns are. This is where I was talking about earlier, where the lasers only do your EM and your thermal. Since I'm using projectile guns, I'm not actually firing them yet. But oh shoot, I need to get in closer. That was dumb. I like to test things out and see, okay, am I able, how much damage do I need to do? This is one of the highest level battleships that the Angels throw out there. Is he targeting? Yeah, he's targeting me. Okay. So now I can kind of keep an eye on him and watch his shields. Now he's at 69%. I'm really kind of surprised I've been able to ding him some. I don't really need this stuff on anymore. I want to keep my afterburner going. And I'm within range now. So, now it looks like he's gotten his shield protection going. He's hovering around 70%. I haven't started firing my guns yet. And this is where I like to just test things out. As the ship gets better, I can see what works better and what doesn't as far as fitting things on there. 67%, 66%. Let's see if he does a shield recharge here. Wow, really kind of surprised. 63, 60, 59. Alrighty. Now I'm going to... Oop, we got a guy in system. So, I'm going to turn my guns on here and see if I do... I need to do my D-scan. This is a pretty large system. I'm just keeping an eye out with the D-scan if this fellow here is flying on through. whatnot. Now, it could be cloaked up. Notice, this is interesting. I've got more damage coming at him with my guns, but his shields are keeping up with it. So it looks like I'm not able to break his tank. I'm going to go ahead and pull. Whoop, we got another guy in the system. So that is one thing you want to be careful of. I'm going to warp to a safe spot here. So why did I do that? Now, I'm being paranoid, but whenever you see one guy in system and they don't come up on your D scan, there's a slight chance that they could be cloaked up. Flying over to where you're at, they see where you're at, and now a second person could possibly come in and be that guy, and then suddenly they decloak, tackle you, and that second guy comes in and kills you. This didn't happen here. It was probably just two guys hanging out or separately. But I always try to think of what could be going on. The other part here is that was very interesting. So I was able to ding him down with the drones to about 70%, but I couldn't get past that. That armor, and then I even threw the more damage in with the guns, and still wasn't able to do as much damage. Okay, so we got a Hecate asking, flying through. So let's see what a Hecate does. Well, he's already gone. So that's a tier 3 ship. So we won't bother with it too much. So that is basically the Dragoon. I'm going to be messing around with it for a while, and I'll probably be moving William Pilgrim into some cruiser ships, just to see what he can do. I'm thinking, like I was saying before, once he gets done setting up his research, I'll go ahead and get him up and running for trying to get a stabber out into the Great Wildlands and messing around a little bit there. And then, of course, I've got my other character that I'm doing the Sisters Challenge with, and the lore. So a lot of stuff going on, and I hate to say this, I kind of like it. Every day I can kind of wake up and go, what do you want to do? Do I want to fly on Mars ships? Do I want to fly Minotaur ships? Do I want to do some Sisters of Eve stuff? Do I want to read some lore? What do I want to do a video on? And now I can just kind of make videos each day, and it's cool. I'm sure it will change over time, but this is kind of fun. I appreciate it. So, hey, that's all I got for tonight. I hope you guys have had a great day. I've had a pretty good day. Maya did a great job today. Just a little bit of update on dog. It's been tough, but she's slowly learning stay. She learned sit right away, other things, but I'm slowly teaching her stay. She has a lot of energy. She's a puppy in a big dog's body. But I also learned a trick with her, which has been fantastic. I tried it out for the first time today, and it may be the greatest thing ever. And if I get a chance next time, I don't have it with me. It's a prop, but it may be the most awesome thing I've done in a while. So maybe I'll bring that for the next episode or one down the road. On that, hey, guys, glad to have you aboard. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please hit me up in the Discord or comment section or the Five Bones chat, or you can just message me in game. One comment was brought up about, and I really like this idea. It's going to be a while before I get to it. But if you watched a couple episodes ago where I was watching a gate camp that was going on, one of the comments brought up was you can do torpedoes to try to break them up. And I just thought that was a fantastic idea. So that might be something down the road that I skill into. It's not going to be right away. I've got kind of a plan, but I really like that idea. I really like the idea of being gate camp busters, Now, do I have the time yet to mess around with that? No. But thank you so much for the comments on that. That was awesome. But hey, that's about all I got for today. Um, all right. Well, hey, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however like you want, and you guys have a great night. I will talk to you soon. See you later.